third of the subway cars in the city are more than 40 years old. They're jalopies, they're clunkers, they're beaters. You imagine driving around, you drive a motorcycle, that thing's not 40 years old.
Forget about it. Yeah, no, it wouldn't work for a second. Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't work.
The state comptroller released a report earlier this week that audited the MTA subway service over the last year. What are the biggest takeaways?
They took a look at the data and found, from 2024 to the first half of this year, similar to a common thread in reporting, that there's aging infrastructure, old train cars, signal systems and tracks. It's really worsening service for riders. So if you just look at delays caused by infrastructure and equipment failures, they're contributing now to a greater percentage of total delays. Then there are major incidents. That's an incident that causes 50 or more delays. Those have spiked so far this year as, quote, subway car problems continue to plague the system. So what that means is, if you look at the data, there were 27 major incidents due to old subway cars in the first half of 2024. In the first half of this year, major incidents from busted cars have actually tripled, or at least nearly tripled. So the state comptroller, Tom DiNapoli, is saying that the MTA must address signal issues and those subway cars to really minimize delays and improve the experience for riders.
I think a couple points to make here. It's not just subway cars, it's infrastructure and equipment writ large that's causing a lot of problems with the MTA lately, and it's a lot of the aging infrastructure that they're trying to fix. Last week we were first to report on MTA data that showed June and July. The subways had the worst June and July this year that they've had since 2018, when service was really bad. You might not have noticed it as much in terms of big crowds and photos, because we have more than 1.5 million fewer riders per day. But anyone who took the system, especially the lettered lines, saw and experienced regular delays. We had those big outages in July around West 4th that kind of trickled throughout the system. But the data really shows signals, car breakdowns, electrical problems continued and repeatedly affected riders and commutes across June and July. And the MTA has really pushed back against that reporting, saying, hey, we really improved things in August. But this data really just put some numbers behind what riders already know, like, hey, we're seeing some concerning problems.
You can stay in the know on all things transit, or ask a question of your own by signing up for a weekly newsletter at Gothamist.com/on the way. My friends, as always, it's been fun.